Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever the time of the day it is where you are right now. This is Security Officer Reacts, and today we're reacting to a guy that is filming in a street, and the police are telling him that he needs to stop filming in public. Let's see how this one goes, shall we?
Hiya.
Film.
Sorry?
Don't film. You can't take pictures and you can't film.
Yes, you can.
So wrong, madam. I am right. I can film because I'm doing it right now. There's nothing you can do. Do you understand that?
Can you just turn it
Madam,
off?
we don't live in authority.
I have been advised.
Well, whoever advised you is wrong.
Right, well, can you turn your camera off?
How dare you point at me and tell me what to do?
Turn your camera
Madam, you don't just tell people what to do. You're a PCSO.
Technically, that's a broad statement. PCSOs are support officers to the police. They don't have powers of arrest, however they can call over officers to do an arrest. Again, if you're doing something unlawful, they can tell you what to do, they can tell you to stop. However, in this case, if he's filming in a public street, yeah, it's definitely a public street, a high street of some kind, I'm not sure where this is. No, you can't tell him to stop filming.
I'm just a PCSO.
This isn't Nazi Germany. This isn't North Korea. You can't just tell people what to do. Excuse me.
Oh, he does need to lower his voice a bit. I will say that though, because as soon as you start raising your voice, they're going to have a little bit of a harder time listening to your side of the story. So he does need to calm down. I will say that, because at the end of the day, any argument or debate that you cannot win through talking, resorting you to shouting, you've lost the argument. You should never shout. If you shout, you've lost the argument. Any argument can be won just by talking. And obviously this officer that's walking in now, all he's going to see is the photographer shouting at a PCSO. So first impressions aren't going to be the best here, but let's see how this carries on.
Look, I'm a member of the public. You got to respect me. I pay your salary. Hello, this madam's trying to tell me what to do, and I'm very offended.
Why are you shouting?
Because she started shouting at me.
All right, okay. Can I help you?
No. I don't want anyone to help me. She started telling me what to do.
I would like you, please, to stop filming. The reason I'm asking you this is twofold.
Yeah.
I'm appealing to you as a human being.
Okay.
For moral decency, because there are families linked to this.
Yes.
If it was your family, would you like it? All
This is going to be all over the news tonight.
Okay, right.
Pictures of that all over the news.
Would you like it?
Would I like
Would you
what?
appreciate it?
Well, I'll tell you what,
Here's
because
the question.
he who controls the questions controls the answers, yeah? I refute your question, and I'm going to tell you
Fine.
that regardless, do you think 9/11, 3,000 people's families, all over the news?
You want to get into debate?
You can't make me stop filming, can you?
Get into debate. Well, no,
You guys can't.
Right, so cleared up a bit more now. So it looks like there's been some kind of incident. Not sure if it's a road traffic incident or somebody's been attacked or whatever. So obviously they're at a crime scene. Now the officer said, from a moral perspective, what you're doing is wrong. Think of the families, think of the people involved. Okay, but the problem is you can't act on that in a legal sense. That's a moral objective, not a legal objective. Now don't get me wrong, I don't like it when people turn up to incidents and get their cameras out and start filming some old deer on the floor that's been hit by a car, and they're all filming it and they want to put it on their YouTube or their TikTok and all the rest of it. I don't like that sort of thing. I think that's bad. However, there's nothing stopping them from doing that. There's no legal law that says they can't do that. Yes, it's wrong. Yes, they're idiots. They're arseholes for doing that. But a moral objective, being offended that you're filming somebody that's been involved in a car accident, is not something that's legislated. You can't. Okay, fair enough. Your personal opinions, even though police are supposed to be impartial, your personal opinions about it might be that I think you're wrong for filming it. That's well and good, but you can't enforce that. There's no law saying that I can't stand here in a public street filming somebody lying dead in the road. It sounds bad. Don't like it. But unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about it. There's no law stopping you from doing that, and that's the issue. The police have to enforce the law. He's arguing with a personal moral objection, but that's not good enough. You can't stop him from filming because your personal moral objection says you're not happy with it. Let's carry on.
Stop me filming.
At the moment, if you look there, there's an investigation going on.
There is a crime scene investigation.
Potentially, at this moment in time, you're capturing something they might have missed. So in a minute, under PACE, Section 19 of PACE, there might be criminal offences linked to it. I can seize that camera.
So if you film something that may catch something, I'm going to seize that camera. Well, the incident's already happened. You've already got an entire forensics team, an entire police force there cordoning it off and investigating it. I'm pretty sure there are Ring doorbell cameras, I'm pretty sure there's CCTV, possibly even dash cams that are around, that would have captured the whole incident from beginning to end. There's nothing that this photographer is going to catch that is going to be helpful to the investigation. You know, if somebody caught it on dash cam, if somebody caught it on CCTV, they're going to go to that person and ask for the video to use in their investigation and possibly use in court. But saying to him that I'm going to seize your camera because you're filming, he's overstepping the mark a little bit there.
You have no idea what trouble you'd be in, sir, if you tried that. I'm a member of the press.
Are
you threatening to take my...
Right, is it?
Yes, it does, because this is a free country, sir, and you guys have no right to tell me...
Officer?
Sorry?
Should we go and get the investigating officer?
You can bring the SAS. It doesn't matter. I'm a free country.
Talking about...
It's a free country, mate.
What we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
When this goes on YouTube or whatever it is you're going to do with it...
It doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter what I'm going to do with it.
All right, put it on YouTube, crack on with it.
No, I don't need your permission. I'll do whatever I want with it.
They're not giving you my permission.
No, but you're speaking in an authoritarian manner.
I said, what's my role at this moment in time?
Your role is to protect the crime scene, not to argue with the photographer on the side of the...
You're helping us by capturing something.
Dude,
that camera.
forgive my French. I'm not going to swear, but that's utter bollocks, and we both know it. It is utter bollocks. How can an amateur little camera...
Have you got nothing better to do with your time at this moment?
Have you not got nothing better to do with your time? So what if he doesn't? What if he wants to stand there and film a lamppost for 12 hours? That's his free right. If he wants to film a lamppost for 12 hours, he's got nothing better to do with his time. What's that got to do with you?
You've got nothing better, because at the moment you're not even filming that, you're filming me.
Yeah, because the story has changed.
And you're here to cause trouble.
There is no trouble. You guys, please leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Okay?
You have no power to say, I'm not inside your cordon. There you go. I'm not inside your cordon.
There you
In a minute, I'll arrest you for breach of peace, removed from the area.
And there it is. Right, okay. First thing I need to say is I am definitely 100% not anti-police. I love the police. I've got good friends that are in the police. I understand that they do a very, very hard job. They're understaffed, they're underappreciated. Whenever anything goes wrong, they always get the blame. Half the time it's the CPS that are at fault and the government that are at fault, because the government are the ones that tell them what to do, and when they act on it, they're the ones that get the blame for everything. If somebody doesn't get a decent sentence or it gets thrown out of court, that's down to the CPS. They have no power over that. But again, it's the police that get the blame. I am 100% on the side of the police. However, one thing I have noticed with watching a lot of these videos is that if somebody is arguing their rights with a police officer and they're well within their rights and the police officers don't like it, they will always go down the route of I'm going to do a public order, I'm going to arrest you for a public order offence or arrest you for breach of the peace. It's literally a grabbing at straws, scraping the barrel way to try and gain control, because they're losing control of the situation. The person isn't bending over backwards and doing as they say, and they're literally explaining their rights to them and their freedom to them. They don't like it, so they try and throw out this whole, I'm going to arrest you for breach of the peace, I'm going to arrest you for a public order. But the criteria for this has not been met. Now initially Matey had a raised voice at the beginning of the video. He stopped. But let's look at the law for breach of the peace and public order. Public Order Act 1986 So this is the Public Order Act 1986, Section 5. So again, you'll probably hear him say, I'm going to arrest you for the Public Order, Section 5. Is up to date with all the changes known to be in force on or before December 12th, 2024. There are changes that may be brought up into force at a future date. Changes that may appear in the content are referenced with annotations. Right, so part 1. Harassment, alarm or distress. A person is guilty of an offence if he uses threatening or abusive words or behaviour or disorderly behaviour, or B, displays any writing, sign or other visible representation which is threatening or abusive. Okay, so that's not really classed there because he's not being threatening, he's not being abusive, and he's not being disorderly. He's not using any signs or, he's not being harassing. 2. An offence under this section may be committed in a public or a private place, except that no offence is committed where the words or behaviour are used, or the writing, sign or the visible representation is displayed by a person inside a dwelling and other person is also inside that of another dwelling. Okay, that one doesn't apply here. It is a defence of the accused to prove that he had no reason to believe that there was any person within hearing or sight who was likely to be caused harassment, alarm or distress. Now, I can't, obviously the camera's zoomed in on the police officers. It didn't look like, when he was panning around a few times, it didn't look like there was anyone else around. And again, he was talking to the police officer, not anybody else. He spoke to the PCSO, but she seems to have waddled off somewhere. So he's just talking to the police officer. So he's still not using words or abusive words or acting in a behaviour that's considered disorderly. And even if he was, again, it was to the police officer, causing a harassment, alarm or distress. He wasn't doing that to the police officer at all. He was literally saying to him, you cannot stop me from filming, these are my rights. He said the word bollocks. Now again, swearing in public can't really be used in the public order or breach of the peace, because again, it all depends on who's around. Now, if there's a lady or a child around and they take offence to it, then yeah, that's causing alarm or distress. So just swearing on its own doesn't meet the criteria. So if you're saying, "Oh, for fuck's sake, that really hurts," or something like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm really pissed off," that doesn't meet the criteria. However, if it turns around to "fuck you, I'm gonna bash your fucking head in," that's different, because you're using it in a threatening behaviour that's threatening and it's abusive. But just saying "for fuck's sake," that doesn't reach the criteria, because you're using it as an expression, not in a threatening manner. Now, he said breach of the peace. That's what he said he was going to charge him with or arrest him with. Let's look at that, shall we? Public Order Act 1936. This is the original version as it was originally enacted. This item of legislation is currently only available in its original format. Prohibition of offence conduct conducive to breaches of the peace. Any person who in any public place or at any public meeting uses threatening, abusive or insulting words or behaviour with intent to provoke a breach of the peace, or whereby a breach of the peace is likely to be occasioned, shall be guilty of an offence. Now again, that is kind of a branch off of the Public Order Act, but it still uses the same language, the same terminology. He wasn't being threatening, he wasn't being abusive, he wasn't being insulting, and the behaviour with intent to provoke a breach of the peace, no, it doesn't reach the criteria for the officer to arrest him. Absolutely not. So if he was to arrest him, that would be unlawful, and Matey, who's doing the filming, could make it a complaint, sue. He won't get much, not from the police, but he can sue. The officer could probably get told off for that, because again, he's made an unlawful arrest, because he's arresting him on things that haven't met the criteria. He's not being abusive. He's not being threatening. But let's get back to the video anyway. Just go back a little bit.
Story has changed.
Are you here to cause trouble?
There is no trouble.
Right,
You guys, please leave me alone.
Right,
Leave me
suggest
alone.
leave, okay?
You have no power to say, I'm not inside your cordon. There you go. I'm not inside your cordon.
In a minute, I'll arrest you for a breach of peace removed from the area, all right? Because you're causing me. These officers are trying to do their work, and you're obstructing them because they're here to protect the crime scene. You're right.
Okay,
At the moment,
listen.
they're dealing with you.
Maybe,
so
okay.
You're causing problems.
We'll start again. Okay.
Is this a step too
Alright,
far?
and that's the end of the video anyway. Not sure what happened after that, because the video pretty much ends there. But yeah, he's saying that you're obstructing. How's he obstructing? He's standing there on the right side of the cordon. He's not within the crime scene. He was quietly filming. The PCSO came over and told him to stop filming. Yeah, he did get a little bit shouty. Probably shouldn't have done that. But then the other officer came over. It's like, I'm not obstructing anything. You came to me. You know, you're supposed to be guarding the crime scene, but now you're standing over here harassing a photographer and trying to throw around false charges that you don't have any weight behind to threaten me that you're going to arrest me for if I don't leave. You know, it's just, you know, you're breaching his human rights, walking in public, filming. He's not interfering with your investigation. He's not walking through your cordon. He's not being abusive. He's not being threatening. So, unfortunately, that officer needs a little bit of retraining there, and to wind his neck in a little bit, because you can't do that. And as I said, I see this with so many police videos where a member of the public will literally turn around to him and say, "No, you're breaching my freedom. You're breaching my rights. You can't do that." And then they will, when they realise they're losing the argument, they will throw out the whole, "I'm going to do you for a public order act." Was it public order offence or breach of the peace? Because they can't get their own way, because they're losing the argument. They cannot do that. You have to meet the criteria involved for breach of the peace or public order act. And this case, no, he's in the wrong. The officer is in the wrong. Photographer, again, it's a moral dilemma, but not a legal one. He's allowed to film from the safety of the public street, and there's nothing they can do about it. And that officer was overreaching his powers there and trying to throw out false charges that would not stand up in court, just to try and get him out of the way, or to stop him from filming, or to take back control of the situation because he wasn't winning the argument. And that is the video for today. So please give us a like, give us a subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.